Time now for our big board and our team of insiders standing by live for more on all of the morning's top stories. And we begin with Donald Trump and Russia. A senior Russian diplomat saying officials from his government did, in fact, have contact with the Trump campaign during the run-up to the election. That, of course, contradicts what the president-elect has said. And Alex Marquardt joins us now from London. So, Alex, what exactly did this Russian official say?
Good morning, Amy. Well, these comments are coming from Russia's deputy foreign minister. What he said is that various Russian officials had contact not just with the Trump campaign, but with the inner circle, the immediate entourage, as he called it. He said these are people who in the U.S. were always in public view, who occupied positions of significant responsibility. But later, the foreign ministry walked it back, saying there were no actual contacts with campaign staff, just with supporters. And the Trump campaign also denied any contacts. We should say it is pretty common for campaigns to have contact with foreign governments that they might have to deal with. And of course, candidates do often travel to other countries before the election.
Now, Alex, in Russia, is Donald Trump's victory being seen as a victory for Putin?
Absolutely, Michael. With relations at an all-time low since the Cold War, the Kremlin just saw Clinton as a continuation of President Obama. Moscow had been very happy with Trump's repeated praise of Putin on the campaign trail, his anti-NATO statements. In fact, just yesterday, one of Putin's top aides called their attitudes to foreign policy identical, saying it's phenomenal how close it turns out they are.
Wow.
Keep our eye on that.
Yes, we will. Thanks,
All right.
Alex.
Thank you. And next up, President-elect Trump visited the White House yesterday. He and President Obama had some nice words for each other, but what do their expressions actually say? We have our body language expert, Chris Owick, joining us now. Chris, we've seen them. They're there, both men, pictures, video. Anything jump out at you?
Michael, this was a cordial meeting, but by no way deferential, but not very warm meeting. First off, what jumped out to me, what I noticed was when Donald Trump is sitting, we see classic Trump. He's in this, has a power steeple, it's prayer steeple, power, authority, and control. But then he starts to do this little tapping gesture we'll see him start to do. It marks a release of anxiety or stress that we see, and he's also imploded in his posture. He's almost turtling, getting small. This is a guy whose broad displays are what we normally see from him. There's almost like a contriteness, a deferential nature to it that we don't see normally with him in that particular moment. On top of it with him, we also see a moment where he, when he goes over and he's going to shake the hand of President Obama, the two of them as they're talking, he leans in and gives a cold shoulder almost, and leans across his body where Obama is reaching out to him. On top of it, their facial expressions mark sadness. We see a micro expression of sadness. It's an expression that happens in 1/15 of a second, Michael, that marks a kind of sadness. We have to ask them what they're actually sad about, but I think we can speculate.
There were some tough words said between the two of them over the course of the campaign. One can probably fill in the blanks there. There was this photo that was also released on the meeting of First Lady Michelle Obama and Melania Trump. What do you take away from that photo?
Well, keep in mind, this is the photo that the White House wants us to see here. It's staged, this photo, from that perspective. But having said that, it's quite a different setup. If we look at this compared to the meeting between the president-elect and the president, we see the two of them turn toward each other. They're facing their belly buttons toward each other. We call it the belly button rule. You face your belly button toward people you like, admire, and trust. They're also mirroring each other. Their legs are closed toward each other. It's creating a closed chain, an intimate moment, a moment of rapport and trust between the two of them. It's not, it's what, we're not seeing a lot of movement, obviously, if we were looking at analyzing their overall movement patterns. But here in that picture, that's what the White House wants us to see. Peaceful transition of power and a nice moment between the future First Lady and the current First Lady.
All right, fascinating stuff, Chris. I think this body language says I like Michael. All right. Not a Hillary Clinton. A woman hiking in the woods. This is an incredible story near Clinton's home in Chappaqua, New York. Ran into the Democratic nominee on Thursday and got this picture. She later said in an interview that Clinton seemed to be doing well, and Cokie Roberts joins us now. And Cokie, other than hiking, what is Hillary Clinton planning to do here for the next short term at least?
I have to tell you, I'm still having trouble getting over the belly button rule. But I think hiking is one of the things she does plan to do, processing what happened in this election, say some of her friends, and spending a lot of time with her grandchildren in the immediate times we're in right now, and then thinking about how she can carry out what she has said throughout the campaign was her life's work, which is promoting the well-being of children and their families. And she could either do that through the Clinton Foundation and show people that it is an institution that does good work, or through some other institution like the United Nations.
Well, Koki, do you think that it is conceivable that she could run for public office again? Get back into
No. In a word, no. I think that she has done that. It's done for her. She knows how hard it is more than anybody. And in her concession speech, she really did say, it's up to you now, to the next generation, to take this mission and carry it forward. And one of the people who could carry it forward is her daughter, Chelsea. Chelsea has talked about public service and how important it is. It wouldn't surprise me a bit if she ended up running for office.
And Koki, there is still a question facing Hillary Clinton post-election, and that's Trump's threat to prosecute her. Where does that stand?
Well, members of Congress are saying they're going to continue investigations. Rudy Giuliani, whose name is bandied about as Attorney General, is saying that this can't just be dropped. It has to proceed. And then there's talk of the president pardoning her. I suspect she wouldn't much like that because it would imply that she's committed some crime that requires pardoning. But on the other hand, it would take it all off the table.
All right. Koki, Chris, Alex, thank you all. We appreciate it today.